It's Minnesota's only national park, but on today's show, we'll slide into the other season at Voyagers on a snowmobile adventure. Gadzooks, how'd you like to shovel all that snow? Well, these hardy Minnesotans did it without snow plows or snow blowers. A look back at winters past might help you appreciate this year's mild winter. Let's flash back to last summer. It's a gorgeous June evening on Rainy Lake with giant smallmouth bass and the wit and wisdom of Woody the Guide.
Beautiful fish.
Stick around, those stories and more next.
Reporting from the North Country, here's Ron Schara and Raven the Black Lab.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Raven and I are sitting out here along the woodpile. I've been thinking about doing a little wood splitting, but so far that's all I've been doing is thinking about it. Well, up first is our story about Voyagers National Park. You know, it's a great place to visit any time of the year, but especially in winter, when the fastest sport of them all is snowmobiling.
If you were going to design a national park for Minnesota, it would be this one, Voyagers. 4 big lakes and more than 500 pine-covered islands. In summer, it's a watery getaway. In winter, it's an ice-bound escape. The snowy season is never crowded, and snowmobilers love that. A snowmobile ride at Voyagers takes you on a romp in and over wilderness terrain seldom seen by winter visitors.
Snow-covered trees, and I mean, I just love the outdoors, and you can go so many places on a sled, you know. And in the summertime, you know, you're going through bogs here now. In the summer, you couldn't get through. You wouldn't be able to see any of this country. And I mean, it's just like an ever-changing panorama, isn't it? I mean, every corner is something different.
You know, you can see things in the wintertime here that you can never see in the summer. You go through the frozen swamps, you can't see that in the summertime. And it's just magnificent.
Oh, and you have a chance of seeing deer, wolves, or whatever, you know, crossing the lakes. I mean, literally, you got hundreds and hundreds of miles of trails and lake trails up here. It's just never ending.
Yes, winter in Voyagers is shared by a few wild critters, too. Park a sled and listen. Or keep your eyes open. You might see a deer, or you might cross some moose tracks in the snow. There's wolves in Voyagers, but don't count on seeing one. For winter adventurers with an urge for ice fishing, this is the place. Or stick to the trails where you can ride for miles and miles and miles over lakes Capitogama, Crane Lake, and Rainy. Heck, you can even go sledding into a foreign country, Canada.
Driving a snowmobile through the Voyagers is like driving through a painting.
Did somebody say scenery?
The park offers great scenic value, has some fantastic lake running routes for snowmobiling, and offers just some spectacular views of the forested and wooded areas of northern Minnesota.
Well, it's pretty. It's a gorgeous spot. There's not a lot of people around. People are great. All the resort owners are friendly, and you can go a long way by snowmobile.
While most park visitors come from the Twin Cities, riders from as far away as Chicago are generating a winter tourism business. To keep the visitors happy, local snowmobile clubs work to keep the trail system well groomed.
You know, to a first-time visitor here at Voyagers National Park, the park can be rather intimidating. I mean, it is big country. All you need to know is to follow all of these marked trails and then carry a good map. The maps are well marked and they're accurate.
The most important rule is ride safe. Remember, never speed and never mix alcohol with a snowmobile ride. In the meantime, enjoy. The best hot dog you're ever going to taste can be found on a snowy trail in Voyagers National Park.
Now, after a hard day of snowmobiling, what better place to retire to than Chef John's Game Gourmet Kitchen, where today, Chef John and Belinda have something really good a-cooking.
So, John, what are you grinding today?
I'm grinding venison, Belinda.
Wow, we're going to make venison patties or maybe some venison sausage?
Yeah, you know, a lot of hunters nowadays, beside hunting, love to produce their own meat they harvested. So that's what we're up to.
My dad used to make venison jerky in the oven. It took like 16 days, but it was good.
Yeah, you know, and it was always better because Dad made it.
That's right.
Well,
we have to add some stuff to it, though, huh?
Well, what we did here, look at here. We've frozen this. We've got it par frozen because when you're grinding it, if you don't have it frozen, look at this is soft and how mushy it is. It'll just be real soft and mush up against the plate. It won't grind through.
Okay.
And also what we've done is we have some beef here.
We're adding beef instead of pork. Most people add pork.
Well, and pork is just fine, but a lot of people don't want to have pork, but we need the fat in it because venison is so lean.
All right.
Now, we don't need a lot. Now, this would only be for if you're making a sausage patty or a hamburger or a ground venison burger. How's that? But the most important thing is, if you're buying your beef, you need to buy, see how nice and white this is?
Sure.
And firm? That means it's from a young cow or a young calf or steer. If it gets mushy and yellow, that means it's older. So make sure when you're buying meat in the store, it's always white.
And when you're grinding this together, you want to get rid of the silvery stuff?
Yeah, this silver skin is the same stuff as the fat that has the flavor that you really don't want. Now, it doesn't have bad flavor, it's just really strong.
A little gamey.
But look at here, you can't even pull that. It's like a rubber band. So you imagine, even if you grind it, those little bits are in there. So make sure that you take the time to do that.
And then you have to remember when you grind all this together that you need to cook it for a long time, right?
140 degrees. And it's really important because what happens, if you don't cook it on a hamburger on the inside, it doesn't get exposed, so all the germs can get killed.
Sure.
So all of a sudden, if it's cooked 130 degrees and you've had it in a refrigerator and you've thawed it out, that's just kind of getting it going. So with children and adults, everybody, no more medium rare anything. Those days are gone.
Medium to medium well.
And you know what happens when you do that? What do you get?
Good eating.
When we return, we'll meet a world-class explorer who's discovered new challenges in the business world. She knows plenty about cold feet. Tag along with Patty Steger on a sled dog ride into the BWCA.